Third intermediate, upstream 3, unit 7. Lesson 7C, is that enough? Objectives, what I have to do. To classify some countable and uncountable nouns. To use quantifiers with countable and uncountable nouns correctly. To write 6 sentences about countable and uncountable nouns with the quantifiers. Countable and uncountable. For example, lemons, salt, eggs, bread, tomatoes, coffee. Countable and uncountable. Which of the previous items of food is countable and which one is uncountable? Let's check together. The answers. The countable food, we have lemons, tomatoes, eggs. Uncountable, bread, salt, coffee. Task 1. Classify the words on the next slide into countable and uncountable nouns. Before classification, we will go through the type of food together. Let's read them together. Milk, cereal, meat, ketchup, apple, water, salt, banana, pear, bread, peas, cheese, peach, yogurt, mango, mustard, lobster, salmon, potato, juice. Model answer. Countable nouns, uncountable nouns. Countable nouns, the food or the items of food we can count. Peach, apple, potato, mango, pear, lobster, banana, peas. Uncountable noun, water, bread, yogurt, juice, milk, salmon, cheese, salt, meat, cereal, yogurt, ketchup, mustard. Task 2. Use quantifiers with countable and uncountable nouns. Quantifiers with countable and uncountable nouns. In this table, we are going to introduce some quantifiers and which one we use with countable, uncountable, positive sentences, negative sentences, interrogative sentences, which is the question. Let's start. The first quantifier, some, we can use with countable, uncountable, positive sentences, and interrogative sentences. Any, countable, uncountable, negative, and interrogative sentences. Much, uncountable, and negative sentences. And interrogative sentences, which is the question. Many, countable, negative sentences, and interrogative sentences. A lot of, countable, uncountable, positive sentences. Few, countable, positive sentences. Little, uncountable, positive sentences. No, countable, uncountable, positive sentences. Practice. Quantifier plus countable. Example, we have to buy a lot of eggs. Of course, you can use other words, but it should be countable. For example, lemons or apples, any type of food which is countable. Another practice, quantifier with uncountable. I bought some chocolate yesterday. Again, you can use another quantifier with uncountable. Practice quantifier with uncountable. How much milk do you need? Quantifier again with uncountable. There is only a little water left in the fridge. Quantifier with positive sentences. She has few tomatoes in her kitchen. Tomatoes, countable, type of food, and the quantifier we use here, few. Quantifier positive sentences. There are no bananas in the grocery. Quantifier with negative sentences. We don't have any milk. Quantifier negative sentences. There aren't many peas in the can. One more. Quantifier interrogative, which is the question. How much coffee do you need? Of course, I can make it for countable, but I have to change the quantifier. For example, how many apples do you need? More quantifier interrogative sentence. Is there any salt left? Now, assessment. Write the correct quantifier in the right place. You have 5 sentences, and between brackets you have 2 quantifiers. Choose the right one. Pay attention to the type of food, if it's countable or uncountable. Pause the video, take your time, then play it again to check your answers. Now, let's check the answers. There are some lemons in the kitchen. 2. How many oranges do we need? As the oranges countable. Number 3. Is there any tea left? Because it's a question. There are a lot of peas left, because peas countable. 5. Don't put too much sugar in the tea. Of course, we use here much because sugar uncountable. Now, let's move on with our lesson. Task 3. Write 6 sentences using countable and uncountable nouns with the quantifiers. My dear students, take your time, pause the video, think about your sentences carefully, write them correctly using the right countable with the right quantifier or the right uncountable noun with the right quantifier. Here are some suggested sentences. There are some bananas in the supermarket. There are no tomatoes in the fridge. How much salt should I add to the food? How many eggs do you need for the cake? He has a few apples for the apple pie. Polly put little sugar in her mango juice yesterday. My dear students, end of our lesson today. I hope it was useful. See you in the next lesson.